Hi, this is Ed for Revo Guitar Scraps, and today we're going to talk about bar chord shapes for guitar. So first of all, let's define a chord. So anytime you play three or more notes at the same time, that's a chord. It's called a triad, three or more notes. We're going to talk about power chords though, and they're the exception to the rule because they're two-note chords, the root and the fifth of the chord. Okay, so usually what I do is when I get a beginner, the first thing that we play is a one-finger power chord, and that's the E5 chord. So that's the sixth string open, and I use my first finger to play the fifth string second fret and the fourth string second fret. I play those three notes together and create an E5 chord. The 5 indicates a power chord, so you can either call it a power chord or you can just call it a 5 chord. Both of them are understood. Now, in and of itself, the E5 doesn't sound anything spectacular. But if we put on a little bit of distortion, the magic of that sound wakes up the inner rock star in all of us. All right, so we're going to start off with the E5 chord, and we're going to turn that into a movable shape. Okay, so we're going to take that E5 chord that we just learned and turn it into a movable shape. All right, so now I played the fifth string second fret and the fourth string second fret with my first finger. This is the bar. When you lay your finger across multiple strings and you play them all on the same fret, you create a bar. Now I'm going to take that, but I'm not going to play this with my first finger. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my third finger on the fifth string and my fourth finger on the fourth string. I'm going to slide that up a fret, and my first finger is going to play what was the open E string. It's going to compensate for that. And that becomes an F. So now if you memorize the notes on the sixth string, we just turned this E5 chord into a movable shape, and we can slide it up the fretboard. So here we've got an F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, and E. So we took our E5 chord and we created a movable shape out of it, and we started sliding it up the fretboard. Okay, so memorize that sixth string and work on those chords, and I'll see you back here in a second. All right, now where did that E5 shape come from? It came from the open E chord. So if you know your open E chord, my first finger is going to be on the third string first fret. My second finger is going to be on the fifth string second fret. And my third finger is going to be on the fourth string second fret. The sixth, second, and first strings are open. And there's your E chord, your open E chord. Now, if we do the same thing that we did with the E5 chord and turn that into a movable shape, I'm going to play this chord with my second, third, and fourth fingers. Okay, so I'm going to use my second finger on the third string, my third finger on the fifth string, and my fourth finger on the fourth string. So there's my E chord. Now I'm going to slide that up a fret, and my first finger is going to compensate for those open strings. So this is the bar, and this is the movable bar chord shape that is created from the open E shape. Okay, so here we have F. Now just like in the previous exercise, if you move up one fret and you know the notes on the sixth string, we created 12 more shapes out of it. So we have E, first fret F, second fret F sharp, third fret G, fourth fret G sharp, fifth fret A, sixth fret A sharp, seventh fret B, eighth fret C, ninth fret C sharp, 10th fret D, 11th fret D sharp, and the 12th fret E. It does get a little tricky as you move up to get a very clean bar chord sound. But what you can see is we turned an open shape into a movable bar chord, and now you have 12 more chords to add to your chord vocabulary. And so if you're new to bar chord playing, I have an exercise for you. It is a bit of a challenge, I'm going to warn you up front. But in order to get used to sliding this position and getting used to keeping your hand in that position, here is the bar chord exercise. We're going to start on the 5th fret, and I'm going to bar all 6 strings with my first finger. Now the idea is to play each of those strings one at a time and let them ring together. Move that up a fret. Move that up another fret to the 7th fret. Move that up to the 8th fret. Back to the 7th. Back to the 6th. And finally the 5th. All right, so the exercise is going to be to try to get enough pressure evenly across all 6 strings so that all of the notes ring out. Now, once you have that together, you can add the 2nd finger to the 3rd string and you run through the same exercise. Next, we add the 3rd finger to the 5th string. And this chord will it'll actually sound like something. It's actually a movable dominant 7th chord. Okay, so now we're actually going to start hearing real chords. And finally, we add the 4th finger to the 4th string and we have our movable bar chord shape. So take it through these positions. For those of you that are new to this and are finding this challenging, you can just use the top 3 strings. So you can just start with creating a half bar on the top 3 strings. Then 4 strings, then 5, and then 6. All right, I'll see you back here in a second. Next, we're going to create a root 5 movable shape. So we need an open string root 5 chord, and that's the A. Now normally you would play an open A chord, well, you wouldn't play the 6th string, you'd play the 5th string open, and you could use your 1st, 2nd, and 3rd fingers on the 2nd fret of the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings with the 1st string open. However, for electric guitar playing, you really want to start using bars, and we're going to create one with our 1st finger. Since all the notes that are fretted are on the 2nd fret of the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string, I'm going to use my 1st finger for that. I'm going to avoid playing the 1st string. So there is your A bar chord. It's an open A. We're going to turn that into a movable shape by using our 3rd finger for the capo. We'll move up a fret, and my 1st finger is going to play what was the open A. I'm going to use that now on B flat, and I created a movable bar chord shape, and we can learn the notes of the 5th string and start sliding it up a fret at a time. So we have B flat, 2nd fret B, 3rd fret C, 4th fret C sharp, 5th fret D, 6th fret D sharp, 7th fret E, 8th fret F, 9th fret F sharp, 10th fret G, 11th fret G sharp, and the 12th fret A. Now you can aim for the bottom 3 strings of the chord, so we're not going to play the 6th string, we're just going to play the 5th, 4th, and 3rd, and you can create power chords out of them. little bit of distortion, and you're ready to rock. I'll see you back here in a second. The wonderful thing about the guitar is that it has a pattern-based layout. All right, so what you can see from this lesson is that by learning 1 or 2 shapes, you can create 12 other chords out of it. Now, in closing, I'm going to give you a few more movable bar chord shapes that you can take through the paces of what we learned today. All right, so root 6th versions are, you have the A, and then we can lift our middle finger and create a minor. So there's A minor. We can lift our pinky and create a minor 7. Add our middle finger and create a dominant 7. You can do the same thing with the root 5 positions. So here, if I'm at the 5th fret, I'm going to create a D. I'm going to then adjust my fingering here. So my second finger is going to play the 2nd string, 3rd finger is going to play the 4th string, and 4th finger is going to play the 3rd string, and I create a minor. I lift up my pinky, minor 7. I add my pinky to the 2nd string, dominant 7. And those are the most common movable bar chord shapes. So take those through the paces, and you'll have another. How many is that? That was 6 times 12 is 72. That's 72 more chords that you can add to your chord vocabulary. All right, I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I thank you for hanging with me. I'll see you next time.